everyone, welcome back to Dicebreaker, where we are here on day 3 of Essen Spiel. It's been crazy so far, we're really enjoying it. We've packed as many games as possible into these 3 days, and so we're going to tell you about what we've seen today, what we've played today. Some of them we've seen, some of them we've played, Meehan, but a lot of them we've enjoyed. So, Meehan, why don't you tell us about the first thing that you played last night, actually?
Yeah, we played it last night. We were all very tired and drunk.
Yeah, I went to bed. I'm not going to lie to you. I went to bed. I was tired little baby.
Liv was like, I'm out.
I'm sorry, I can't do it. Even though I really was excited to play this game. So, yeah.
Matt Jarvis, editor-in-chief, was bigging it up massively.
Yeah.
He's been excited about this one for a while. It's called Vivarium.
Vivarium, okay.
It is a card game. The concept behind it is that you're a group of explorers who have found this hidden world beneath the earth, which is populated by all these weird and wonderful creatures. They basically look like Pokemon.
Okay, love that. We automatically love that, yeah.
And the aim of the game is that you're kind of collecting information about these creatures, and obviously the most victory points you get, you win.
Yeah.
So in the course of the game, you are collecting cards. Okay. These cards kind of have different sets. Like, for example, there are symbols in the top right, and there is like a color on the background. The symbol kind of indicates what kind of creature it is, and the background indicates the environment that they're based in.
Okay.
And you basically use these creature cards alongside objective cards.
Right.
And item cards as well, and contracts, things like that, to gather victory points. So, for example, you might have an objective card that says, you get this many victory points for this many types of creature that you have.
I see.
And you kind of want to work towards that. How you get these cards is that you use these adorable little dominoes that feel like amazing.
The little domino game, yes. This is really exciting.
That you use them, and they have like numbers on the top and the bottom.
Okay.
And you start out with 2, but you swap one of those for one in the middle.
Okay.
On your turn. And the numbers basically refer to the vertical and horizontal axis of the grid that the cards are placed on.
Okay.
And so you choose a number from each one of the dominoes to apply to the grid.
Yeah.
And then you pick up that corresponding card and you pop it in your set.
Right.
And then at the end of each round, there's like special scoring for, who has this many of these cards?
Yeah.
And then you get like a little tile that represents victory points.
Nice.
You also get these little gems.
Ooh, I love little gems.
Yeah, they look like the kind of gems that are like, it's going to taste like lemon.
Oh, I'm going to eat it. Yeah.
You get these gems that then you can exchange to basically change your numbers on your dominoes up and down.
Oh, great. Okay, so if you need to go like a certain number of spaces, you're like, I don't have enough, I'll add a gem, and then I'll just scoop myself up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You can kind of alter things that you can get the card that you really want.
Okay.
And then it's like several rounds of this, and then at the end of the game, you basically use all of your objectives and the cards that you've got combined to get your victory points, and whoever has the most victory points wins.
That sounds about right. No, that's amazing. Can you I heard you can play like different little roles. Like, isn't there like cartographer and like biologist? No, is that a different thing completely?
No,
is that a different thing completely?
Not in the game.
Don't worry about it. No.
One thing is in the game.
What's in the game?
Is amazing artwork. The artwork has such a strong character, where like these creatures look amazing to the point where somebody. Mr. Whelan, he knows.
Oh, for the Mr. Whelan. Okay, gotcha.
Was making noises for each of the monsters that were being placed on the board.
What kind of noises?
Liv, these noises. You should have heard them.
What's the members blog to find
The
out?
members blog, you say, Wheels?
Members video.
Well, you'll have to find out in the members blog. We've been told this just in members blog. You have to watch it.
You want to watch it. It is something.
Yeah.
We had an audience at one point who were witnessing this.
Oh, good.
And it's a really quite pretty fast game. Lovely artwork, nice little small box. I would recommend it. It was good.
Nice, awesome. Okay, that sounds really good. What else have you been playing, Alex Meehan?
Well, another game that I played today was King of Monster Island.
Is that from King of Tokyo fame?
Yeah.
Richard Garfield fame?
Yeah, the Richard Garfield.
Richard Garfield, my goodness.
Creator of Magic the Gathering.
Oh!
and King of Tokyo.
Yeah.
It's part of the same series, but this time it's different.
It's different?
This time it is a co-op game.
Oh, okay.
So usually King of Tokyo is just a competitive game.
Yeah.
Where you play as different, basically kaiju,
Okay.
fighting against one another to claim territory over Tokyo.
Yeah.
There's also King of New York, which is very slightly different,
Yeah.
but basically the same game.
Think of, if you are not familiar at all with King of Tokyo, think of like Godzilla, think of like King Kong, those kind of
your
creatures.
face, but they're not called Godzilla and King Kong.
No,
they're
of
called,
course they're
you know,
not.
like Monkey King
The
and
Monkey King and the
Boing.
Lizard God, I don't know what it is.
Yeah. But here, this is a co-op board game
Okay.
version. So you are playing as a group of entirely new monsters.
Okay.
Some of the designs are really great. There's one that I really like that's like a turtle monster
Cute.
guy. There's
But also terrifying.
One that looks like basically Mothra.
Okay. Oh, were people like freaking out about that?
I was.
Of course you were, yeah.
Because
of course.
I love Mothra. Mothra's the
uh-huh.
best. But they're all working together because they've gone back to the island that they usually hang out on.
Oh, they've gone home.
Because they're all tired from terrorizing various cities around the world.
Well, you would be mean. You would.
However,
Yes.
a very big angry monster has taken up
A big
on
big
their
guy.
island.
A big
Yeah,
guy.
a much bigger one.
Oh
Very
no.
scary.
What are they gonna do?
And this monster is basically like, I don't care about terrorizing, I just want to destroy the world. So all the monsters come together to be like, we're gonna defeat you. And humanity's like, we're gonna help as well.
Oh my
because
God.
we're scared of this bigger monster.
I love a team up, Meehan. I do love a team
So
up.
it's
This is very
basically
exciting.
like Suicide Squad,
Okay.
but with monsters.
I love that. Yeah.
So you're all working together as these different monsters, and you're still like rolling dice like in the standard game, and the different symbols on the dice kind of give you different things, and you can like roll them up to 3 times if you want. And you're basically on this board that has this amazing like volcano in the middle.
volcano looks amazing. It looks so cool.
You use that to put dice in.
Yeah. Oh, you put the dice in there. Okay.
So you put the dice in of the big bad monster. So what happens is the player has their go,
Yeah.
and then the big bad monster has their go.
Okay. Does the volcano roll dice? Am I?
So you put the dice
Oh my
in the
God.
top of the volcano, and it tumbles out of one of the entrances.
Oh my God.
And wherever the dice rolls onto, because the board is separated into different zones.
Yeah.
Where the dice rolls onto, then like it affects that zone.
Okay.
So
got
there's
you.
things like the boss monster will attack or like summon minions into that zone, or place these like pylon things. That's bad.
Okay. Pylons are bad. Got it.
Yeah. So the monster, the enemy monster, can win in one of 3 ways: placing pylons, killing all the other monsters, or like using all the minions. And the heroes can only win by like killing the boss monster.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So the boss monster on its turn will be going around punching the other monster, spawning minions, doing bad stuff.
Yeah.
And the hero's turn will be them using their dice to attack the monster,
Okay.
to gain energy to buy cards to help them,
Okay.
to heal each other if you're in a zone with
Hence
another monster.
The
you
co-op.
can
Yeah.
heal everyone, and to use fame. They can gather fame,
Oh,
which then
interesting.
they can use to basically summon help from these different allies.
Oh, okay.
And all the allies are kind of really interested in themes around different concepts. And it's really fun. Like, it has the same kind of feel as King of Tokyo,
Yeah.
but it's a lot more. Like, it's
Yeah.
quite complicated.
And it seemed like, because I very obnoxiously came up and I was like, how can I film your session, please? To get some B-roll to these wonderful people playing. And it seemed like there was a lot of strategizing going on. You know, they seemed like a lot of fun.
It's interesting because King of Tokyo is quite like fairly light game.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a huge amount to it. But the King of Monster Island, there's quite a lot going on.
Yeah.
Which, you know, obviously is for people who maybe enjoy King of Tokyo but like want something a bit more challenging.
They've like leveled it up a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And with the co-op element, you're like strategizing with everyone.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it looked pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
I always
Nice.
found King of Tokyo was fine, but it's a bit easy.
Yeah, you know what? You sold me with the volcano, I'm going to be honest. And the next thing that we played is one that's like been really, really popular here at Essen. It's by Lucky Duck Games. It's Flamecraft. And we had a little sit down, and we haven't properly outright played it. But we had a little sit down, had a chat about it. It looks really good. What did you think, Meehan?
Yeah, this has been on the radar for a while ever
Yeah.
since it kind of hit Kickstarter, and then Lucky Duck picked it up.
Yeah.
And the thing that kind of really stands out to you immediately is the
artwork. Yes.
The artwork is incredible.
Yeah.
It's so adorable. Maddie's been obsessed
Beautiful.
with this game.
Yeah. Maddie was clinging onto that box for dear life, like, oh, yeah. It's
And
just,
essentially, it's a fairly straightforward game of like gaining resources.
yes,
and
and
using-
spending the resources.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and using those resources to get other things.
Yeah.
So the concept is you're like going through this world where little dragons like make things.
The little dragons, right? They're just your little companions. They're just hanging out in the world. They're all beautiful. They all have their own little talents, and
Yeah.
they're just helping you out. And it's the world I want to live in.
So you're going to these different shops and like buying these different things they're making,
Yeah.
or acquiring their services and things like that. And you go to those shops to get those resources, and then you use the resources to enchant things,
Yes, yes.
which then get you points.
Yeah, and also depending on what dragons might be hanging out in that shop at that time, they will give you additional resources at the time. So like there might be like a little flame dragon in there, and you'll get that extra resource if they're hanging out, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. So like when you enchant at that location,
Yeah.
you both get the thing the location provides, and it's called fire, but you don't fire the dragons. They're still working now.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, you fire the dragons? No, they're doing such a good job.
They give you like extra little benefits on top
Yes,
of it.
yes.
So like the gameplay is fairly straightforward. The artwork's like really lovely.
Beautiful. There's like a play mat. Is that going to be? I'm not sure if that's in the standard edition, but we had like a little play mat that was on.
Yeah, we were looking at some of the deluxe edition pieces, which are available sort of in a limited capacity.
It's probably important to mention that there might be some stuff that you see in the B-roll that isn't going to actually be in the standard edition,
Yeah.
but it's all very beautiful to look at.
Yeah.
But yeah, you go around, you collect victory points, so it's a victory point based game. The game ends when you run out of the 2 sets of cards.
Yeah, the dragon cards, and I believe like there are
Special dragons,
special dragons.
and you run out of the special dragons.
Yeah.
Yes, and then that
yeah.
triggers the end of the game. Yeah, it looked really, really cute, honestly. There's like a bunch of like puns in there. They were like, oh, we love our puns. There's one that's just like displacer beef. That's a really cute little pun. There's like a bunch of puns based on
Draco
those. Draco Bell is also a good one. Like it's all really adorable. And each we were told that each of the cards has its own like individual artwork on them. And they might have the same like ability on them, but the artwork will be individual and
the name,
unique,
yeah,
and the name will be unique.
Yeah.
And I was saying that you can see the level of thought that's gone into each and every bit of this game is wonderful, and I'm not surprised that it's doing so well.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Yep, they're all sold out here.
All sold out, so we were very lucky to get one when we did. So that was wonderful, and I
That's
think
it.
we'll have to cover it on the channel soon. But
I'm
now,
going away
Meehan,
now.
we're going to swap in with our own
Whoa.
fabulous Mr. Wheelan. Oh my goodness!
Put me in, coach.
It's Wheels! Hello there, Wheels!
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
I'm going to let Maddie re-level my microphone. Hi, Liv. We've
Whoa.
been playing even more games
Yes, we
here at Essen Spiel 2022.
Yeah.
We've also got a couple of little honourable mentions that we'll mention at the end.
Yes.
There were so many games that we've been stacking up now.
Yeah.
We really had to like dwindle this list down.
Yeah,
and,
there
you
are
know,
like so many that we're like, okay, we should mention this, but we have to mention this, and we're like, it's a
Yeah.
balancing act, you know?
There's a lot of great stuff
There's
here.
a
So
lot.
know that when we recommend these 6 that are on this list, these are the creme de la creme.
Yeah.
The first
Ah.
one we're going to talk about is
Yes.
one that you were really excited
I was
to play.
very excited about
That
it.
is Feed the Kraken.
Feed the Kraken. Right, so if you've watched Dicebreaker for a little while, you might have picked up on the fact that I love a social deduction game, Wheels.
Yeah, maybe.
I like it. I like
Maybe.
it quite a lot. And so this is a social deduction hidden role game. Basically, it's between 5 and 11 players that you can play as.
Ooh.
I know, right? That you can play as, that you can play with. And your roles are either sailor or pirate or cultist.
Okay, yeah.
Yes,
All right.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Standard
The
crew.
standard
yeah.
crew, the standard crew that everyone, it's all made, it's like the bosun, you know, you have the cultist.
Yeah.
So you're all on the ship, And basically, your objective is well, the play map is a big. It's the sea wheels, and you can either it's the sea.
No.
It's the sea wheels.
Yeah, no, I was playing the straight man there, but I was watching Liv play this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got like a big hex grid.
Yes.
There are islands, and then you've got like destinations at the end.
Destinations at the end. You can. So that's how you decide who wins the game. You have the sailor endpoint, the pirate endpoint, and in the middle you have the Kraken. So basically, depending on your role, you're going to want to get to one of these different places. Obviously, if you're a sailor, you want to get to the sailor end.
Yeah.
Pirate end. If you're the cultist, you want to get to that Kraken and you want to be gobbled on up, nom nom nom.
Because, well, yeah, they worship the Kraken.
They worship the
It's
Kraken.
a big elder god.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, I'd love to be eaten by a Kraken, actually.
would
I
love
think all
that.
these people should too.
I think they should. You know what? I mean, I personally did because wheels. Guess what? In my playthrough, I was that cultist.
Oh my goodness.
I know, who would have
This
thought?
is totally new information to me.
I know, that's crazy. I played with 11 people.
Yeah, no, what are the odds? What are the odds that Dicebreaker get the ridiculous right?
I know, it's
but
ridiculous.
It meant that you got to experience like the most wacky aspect of the game, which
Yeah.
I think is really cool.
Exactly, yeah, that was really fun. I was just like, of course. And then I showed it to you, and like Wheels' eyes just went, oh!
Which kind of gave you away a little bit.
A little bit.
But yeah,
But
so
it was
like, it's kind of this interesting thing of basically on your turns, you are electing a captain. It's the kind of initial phase
Yeah.
is very Secret Hitler.
It is, exactly.
You have like your lead player who is going to delegate some actions to people.
Yeah.
They draw cards. They choose which card is going to go in the box.
Yeah.
But instead of it being basically being good card or bad card,
Yeah.
instead you've got directions.
Yes.
So you've got left, which will push you towards the red end.
So they're like, you've got blue, red, and yellow.
Yeah.
So the right, I guess if you're looking at the play map from this
Yeah,
way.
you're looking up. It's like right is good for
Right
the
is
blue.
blue, yeah.
Left is bad for the red. Someone just walked right in front of our
All
frame,
right,
thanks
cool,
for that.
okay.
And then right down the middle, you've got the actual
That's
Kraken.
the yellow. That's the yellow for the Kraken.
Yeah.
So basically, as the cultist, I wanted to get it to the middle, to the yellow bit. So what we had to do is when the captain was elected, they would decide on a lieutenant and on a navigator. And so that's basically the trickle down of like who gets what card. So what you do is the captain will be decided, and then the captain chooses a lieutenant and they choose a navigator. So the captain takes 2 cards. They decide on those 2 cards. They pick one and they put the other in the discard. And then they put it in a little pirate's chest. And then shake it up.
You were playing like again, as we said from the previous one, this is the like luxury edition.
This
so
is the deluxe
you've got,
edition.
Like 3D printed things and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's really
so
cool.
Some aspects of it might not be in the standard.
It might not,
box.
but I mean, I hope it is because the little like
It'll be
wheel.
in your box. You got the fancy box.
I didn't get the fancy box, I did. But the little wheel for the navigator spins,
Yeah, it was
and
like a
it's
fidget
super
spinner.
cute.
It's great.
It's really cool. Yeah, I'm going to be using it all the time. So then the captain passes the box on to the lieutenant, and the lieutenant does the same thing, takes 2 cards, discards one, puts one in the box. You shake it up, hand it to the shake it up. You hand it to the navigator, and then they have to choose between those 2 cards.
Yeah, so there's all sorts of obfuscation of who's actually playing what cards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you've also got basically like a discard pile which can be used as like a record of things.
Yeah.
And you've also got, if you ever play a card as a captain, it goes in front of you. So there's like a way of tracking things to make sure.
Yeah,
you've
so you
still
know
got an
who's
idea
done
of
what.
happened in previous rounds.
Yeah.
But then the interesting thing, of course, is that whilst you might play a direction because let's say you just want to get around like an island that's in the way.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to go left, that's fine. But the majority of the time, you're choosing that direction because it's pushing and pulling you between the pirate side and the good person side.
Yeah, exactly.
So that kind of plays into you, who plays this kind of renegade role.
Yeah.
You're on your own for most of the player counts, apart from the max.
Yeah.
You get a subordinate.
Yeah.
Which means that you're kind of like you want them to be playing off each other because then you're gradually getting towards the middle.
Exactly.
As well. It's very cool.
It's really cool.
There's a lot of extra elements to it that I think we could whittle on about for ages.
You really could.
It's a very, very sort of cool amalgamation of a lot of hidden role games.
Yeah, think of the best parts of a lot of really fun hidden role games, and this is what it brings to the table, basically.
If you've played one before, you'll probably notice something about it, but there's definitely a fresh aspect on it.
Absolutely.
So that is Feed the Kraken.
Yes.
Moving on to the next game, another one that you were excited about, and
yes.
as soon as you started explaining it to me, I got excited about it as well.
Yeah.
Is Swindler.
Swindler by Essen Spiel. So Swindler basically is a push your luck game where you are playing a thief in Victorian London. And so basically you have these, it's very like Quacks of Quedlinburg in the fact that you have to like reach into a bag, you have no idea what's going to be in it, and it might be something good or it might be something bad that like knocks you back. So basically you are thieving from somebody, you're stealing from somebody, and you might get a skull, or you might get loot. And the skull is the thing that will, like, you have to put everything back that you've stolen, you have to put everything of that color that you've stolen back. You do not want to get the skull.
Because these bags are pockets that you're picking.
Yeah,
right?
you're picking those pockets.
You might, you pick a mark, and they have a certain color, so it'll be green or yellow or whatever. There's a black bag, which is probably some, like, noble or something who's got very fancy name.
Got some guards going all around looking at you from every side.
Saying, how much stuff can I pick out of this guy's pocket before they notice that I'm doing it, at which point I'll get caught and I'll have to give everything back.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've got this interesting aspect of, a kind of like a sort of pushy luck game like you'd expect.
Yeah.
But you're also kind of set collecting at the same time.
Exactly. Yes. So you're set collecting because the things you can do with these pieces of loot are you can either fulfill orders. So you have orders that you have to reserve, like I'm going to fulfill that order, and so you will have to either you have to have something in front of you, a piece of loot, like it might say, oh, you have to own a key, and then boom, if you have that key, then great, you fulfill that order. It might say you have to discard something, so as soon as you give that away, then you fulfill that order. Yeah. But the set collecting comes in the form of selling things to dealers. So there will be like 3 cards that say you need to have this item, and this item, and you have to fill up those items with specific pieces of loot. But the thing is, if you complete that card, you get an additional 2 points, 2 victory points. So you don't really want to just pop one here and there. You want to,
shared,
they're shared.
But you also, you get a couple of points just every time you place it down. So you might be like, well, I'll get some points now because I don't know if I'm going to complete that one. Yeah. And it does mean that you're also helping your opponent to just fill that up and grab that extra bonus point.
Exactly. Yeah. It's quite simple when you get into it. Like initially, I was reading the rules and I was like, why does it seem like there's so much here? But yeah, when you get into it, it's really fun. It's a victory point system, so it goes up and up and up. The only thing with it is that we were discovering that if you fulfill an order that somebody else has reserved, then they get minus a certain number of victory points, and we were like, how are we going to get any points at all?
It seemed very harsh until we started playing it. We got a little bit more into the swing. We're
exactly.
Oh, okay. We were thinking about it in a different way, and it made it seem a little bit more harsh than it is.
Yeah.
It's still very cutthroat.
Yeah.
It's very, very
much
cutthroat.
So. Like Wheels, I don't think you drew anything out of the bag that wasn't a skull.
And there's one skull per bag, apart from the mega one. Which meant that I was drawing it in the first or second pull every time.
It was wild. The baby bag.
Lucky man on earth.
The baby bag.
Literally the easiest one I could have gone into. Skull.
It's wild. But also there's a certain if you pull order cards and fill them up each round, and you might pull a raid card, and then that's when the police come out, and so they might investigate you and see that you've got a bunch of a certain color of loot. And then they might send you to jail, which makes you sit out for an entire round.
It's awful.
That's
absolutely horrible.
Wild. That's so
as you're picking up these orders, there are certain ones that have these little wanted posters on.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like heat being built up on you. It's you're taking these risky jobs, and so that's going to affect those police raids and make you more culpable if any of them pop off.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's very, very cool. Yeah. If you like Wax Quedlinburg, I think you'll love this. It's got a very similar vibe to it. But instead of kind of gradually, sort of making your way up a track. Instead, it's that thing of oh, I could get more if I just went a little bit further. I could get more because it's not just a case of oh, I need more points. Yeah. It's I need this specific thing. Yeah. And it hasn't come up yet. Yeah. So it adds a little bit more temptation for you to push yourself a bit more, as well as the fact, I reserved this order. If I don't do it this round,
then somebody's going to
gazump me and I'm going to lose points.
Knock you off your pedestal right there. Yeah.
Very, very cool. Very, very good. We recommend it. Yes. Lovely art style, nice and thematic. But we're going to move on to the final game that we're going to mention today. Yep. Apart from a couple of honorary mentions. And that is, Liv.
Yes.
A game that I was actually really excited about.
Oh, yeah?
That is Paperback Adventures.
Ooh.
Now, this one I don't think many people are going to be super aware of. It's a Tim Fowers game. Everyone knows I'm a huge Burger Bros fan. Love Tim Fowers games, love Fugitive. Yeah. I think he's a great designer. The artist that he pairs up with, whose name I've forgotten, he'll be in the description. Fantastic artist. Always has that unique style, but does something a little bit different each time. Yeah. And this is no difference to
this looked really interesting, really interesting.
Really cool theme of essentially you are a protagonist in a novel that hasn't been properly written yet. Yep. And you're trying to survive the brainstorming sessions of your author, which is really strange.
So funny. That's so good.
It's kind of like a sequel to Paperback, which was a previous game of his, and I think there was another one as well. But basically, they have this character called Paige Turner, who is the author who's writing your books.
It's a pun. I love that.
You buy a core box, which doesn't play on its own. You need to then buy a character box.
Okay.
And it's very, very heavily inspired by Slay the Spire, which we know is getting a game of its own at some point as well.
Yeah.
So you pick one of the 3 characters, like you would in Slay the Spire.
Sure.
So you've got like a poisony rogue character, you've got like a middle of the road sort of like robot-y character, and you've got like a weird and wacky pirate character who's really cool. And all of the cards that you're building, if you've played Slay the Spire, you'll recognize all of this.
Yeah.
You're building up combos, you're building a deck, it's deck building as you play, you come across bosses who have special effects, and suddenly you build up all of your combos on your cards.
Yeah.
The fun thing is, for those of you who don't know what Paperback is, this is actually a word game. So your hands of cards are letters, and you perform attacks and combos by creating words out of the hand of cards.
I love that.
Certain bosses will have like a weakness, which gives you an extra vowel to play with.
Oh, very
so
nice.
So it's like, oh, I'm playing against a troll, so that O becomes a weakness that I can exploit.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's fun.
With that, then, you'll kill them off, you'll get rewards, you'll unlock new cards, you can upgrade cards, everything's sleeved. So they're all double-sided cards that you can then rotate and get a better version of.
Yeah.
I did a lot of sleeving.
You did a lot of sleeving, yeah.
But yeah, no, it's got this great sort of like incredibly like meta theme to it that makes everything funny.
Oh yeah.
Every item you get is like some kind of reference to something literary.
Like a red herring I saw in there.
A literal red herring.
That's so funny.
Chekhov's gun is a weapon.
That's so funny. I love that.
It's very, very cool.
Yeah.
And it's got like such a beautiful style to it. I love the little boxes that, of course, look like paperback novels that you open up. And that's your little character. You've got like a little tray where you put all the health tokens and stuff like that. It's very, very swish, very, very slick.
And it's mainly a solo game, Wheels?
It is mainly a solo game, which I think makes it a little bit of a harder sell, but for some people makes it an incredible sell because I know there's a lot of solo gamers out there who want to play more board games, don't have a group close to them that you can play with, so having more of those is good. You can also play like a 2-player mode called like Two-Headed Giant where you basically share a deck but have different items and stuff like that. If you get 2 core boxes, you can slide them together and do like a 2-player mode as well.
Oh wow.
So there's lots of like really, really cool interactions with it. I think this one's going to be a real hit. Yeah. There's a digital edition on Steam.
Oh,
and there is a demo that you can play as part of Steam Next Fest.
It looks
so
really good.
If you want to give it a go, jump straight in.
We encourage you to do it,
So that was Paperback Adventures by Tim Fowers. That has already been on Kickstarter. I think it's getting into backers soon, so should be in retail soon as well. Yeah. Very, very excited about that one.
All right,
but
Wheels.
Before we finish, we've got 2 little honorary mentions.
2 honorable mentions.
The first one, Liv, I'm pretty sure in the frame is like here.
Right behind us, yeah.
Deal with the Devil. So
Deal with the Devil
has been the game of the show.
Yes.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, we haven't got a chance to play it yet.
Because
it's incredibly dense.
It's very dense, it's huge, there's so many things to do. You need exactly 4 players, so it's like, okay, who should play, who should sit out? It's
been tough to get to the table. We're hoping to play it tonight.
Yes.
But obviously, we won't be filming a video tomorrow, so you'll have to learn about more of it on the channel as we come back from the show.
If you want to hear more about us, let us know. Just tell us in the comments.
And please do subscribe so you make sure you see that video when it goes
Exactly.
live. But Deal with the Devil is a hidden role Euro city building game in which someone is the actual devil. Which is pretty wild.
That is, I know.
It's been published by Czech Games Editions. It's got huge components, huge these like castles that you put in front of each other to hide things, little chests. I had to do so much construction.
You really did. This is the only game I've ever seen that had tape so that you could put stuff together.
Things together. It's ridiculous. But it looks very, very cool. Very innovative design, and it's been incredibly popular. Everyone who saw it under our arm as we were carrying it around was like,
"Oh my god, have you played? Have you played? Have you played?" And the answer was no.
No, the answer was no, as was theirs.
Yes.
So keep an eye out for that one. That's going to be huge. And then the other one is actually a very tiny game.
It's a little guy.
We thought it was very cute. We liked it, so we
mentioned it. So basically, me and Matt Jarvis were having a little walk around, and we were like, "Oh, what should we have a look at before we go to a meeting?" And it was Cheese Thief. Is something that we found. So basically, it's the same publisher that made like Deception, Murder in Hong Kong, funnily.
Is it?
Yeah.
Great game.
Yeah, it's a very good game. So basically, it's like a hidden role game, I suppose it is, because I love those. And all you have to do is you are given a card. You might be a normal little mouse, or you might be the cheese thief.
It's a bluffing game, I guess. Yeah?
It's a bluffing game, yeah.
It's built on liar's dice.
Yes, exactly. You have to shake your cup, and that'll have a dice in it. And it'll be from 1 to 6, whatever you get your result. And then you have to wake up at that hour in the night. And so somebody will be narrating when you all close your eyes, and you wake up at that hour. You might wake up at the same time as the cheese thief, and they just take the cheese and they have to hide it on their person somewhere, and it's a little soft little sponge. So you can put it wherever you want to, just as long as it's hidden. And so basically it's a game of like, okay, what time did you wake up? Like, what did you see? And then like bluffing game. And yeah, it's really cute.
You play Lois Dice and it turns into werewolf. It's great.
Yeah, right.
And it's also got like that lovely, very like friendly and funny theme that I think would make it a very good family game as well. We've not got a huge amount of time to talk about it, so we won't go too much into it, but that is definitely one of our recommendations. That is our third and final day of the show here on youtube.com/Dicebreaker. Thank you so much for watching all of our videos you have. If you haven't, go back and watch day 1 and 2. We'll put them on the end card so that you can give them a look. Yeah. There's so many fantastic games that we've seen this year, Liv, that I think are going to be a massive splash.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I cannot wait to show them to you on the channel. Just like let us know what you want to see, and we are going to show you a bunch of fun stuff. So
make sure you hit subscribe. Hit the bell icon to get notified whenever we put a new video live. Yeah. And why not give us a like and a comment as well so that more people can see it. Wow. Share it on your socials as well. It helps us a massive amount when you share it to all your friends.
So much.
If you want to see even more coverage from Essen and beyond, go on over to Dicebreaker.com, where my previous host, who I've stolen the spot of, Alex Meehan, was writing fantastic articles all weekend with Matt. Yeah. And we're going to see even more over the coming weeks as well, as they talk about all the fantastic stuff that they've seen this weekend. Thank you so much for watching all of our wrestling coverage. We will see you when we are back home in the UK for our next video. But until then, have a lovely day. Goodbye. Bye.